What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 179 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
Not a whole lot, showing off the new throwback jerseys that I got.
Mine is not. So this is a tradition I've been wanting to do for a while. This year, I finally pulled the trigger and did so. And I bought Tiff and I both a jersey for the team we wanted. Of one of the teams in the Super Bowl. So I have my Travis Kelce jersey from Super Bowl 55. She has the Jason Kelce jersey from 57? 52?
Whatever.
When was the last time the Eagles were in the Super Bowl?
That's a real question. I don't know the answer to that one.
Super Bowl appearances. 2018. It was 52. All right, cool.
There you go.
Where they won and the entire city of Philadelphia rioted.
Yeah.
I remember that part. I just gotta remember what year it was. So yeah, just NFL season kicked off this week. You're like, hey, I'm wearing my jersey. I'm like, well, I guess I had to break out mine too.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Whereas you have your fancy Titans hat. I have my fancy Baja Blast hat. So.
I mean, I feel like it's fine.
I got a new hat at work. It's
the superior soda. Like, it's fine.
If I could get a Dr. Pepper hat, I would, but I can't.
You don't work for Dr. Pepper.
We distribute it just as well.
You distribute it, but you don't work for them.
I know.
So that's why you can't get a Dr. Pepper hat.
I know. Doesn't mean I don't like it.
If you get a second Baja Blast hat, let me know. We can wear matching hats.
I doubt I'm going to. I think my boss said the next stuff that we're getting in is Fast Twitch. It's the caffeinated Gatorade product that we just came out with in the last 6 months or so. They're really good. I actually really like them. My honest opinion, they're kind of expensive for what you're getting out of them. They're like $1.80 or something for a little 12-ounce bottle. Yeah, they're kind of expensive.
That's kind of disappointing.
But I mean, they taste good, so who cares? But we're not here to talk about Pepsi products.
No, not today. We've got a lot to get into because we got details for the 2024 season we're going to talk about today. TLDR, I like some things, but I think a lot of it's a mess.
That's an understatement.
I have seen so many pro players just applauding these changes, and that's fine if you can afford to go to every regional and you have 12 locals and MSSs you can go and play in a single year. That's cool. But for the average VGC enthusiast, your dreams of going to Worlds just by playing a couple locals and maybe doing well at one or two events, that's gone. That's never going to happen again.
So jumping into this a little bit, we have most of the regional schedule for next year. I would be surprised if we get actually more regionals added, and I mean
they probably will add one or two more.
We're missing OCIC, NAIC, EUIC dates. We have the LA regional. The Latin America regional championship here. We have European regionals. Yeah, we don't have any of the international championship states yet.
Yeah, none of the ICs are there, and there's not a single Oceania event scheduled yet.
Yeah, that's the key part there, right? Yet.
Which it is surprising because we are fast approaching Worlds, obviously. Mm-hmm. And North America picks right back up a month later. First event is September 8th through 10th, going to be in Pittsburgh. A lot of people are very excited for that because that's actually the first local Regulation D regional.
Yeah, so we knew about Pittsburgh, Peoria, Sacramento,
and
Toronto.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think it's just those four that we knew about beforehand.
And
everything else after that is new.
And we knew about Lille as well, right? Over in France.
Yeah. Yes.
And obviously is the Brazilian regional, is that new?
I'm not sure if
Or
it's new.
Or is that on the list as well? I don't remember there being a
I don't
Brazilian
remember
one.
there being a LATAM event listed,
But I mean, I could be wrong. I will.
I'm glad they have
admit
one.
I'm wrong. Yeah, 100%. More like coming from our Magic background, right? Back when you and I grinded the events and everything, Star City events had events every weekend, and it was just like a private tour group that like they have their own shop out in Roanoke.
Yep.
And they would travel the country and set up conventions for people to play in.
Yep.
And that it was every weekend. And then you had the Grand Prix circuit where you had Channel Fireball and other event hosts like hosting events majority of the weeks of the year. Like if Star City didn't have something going on that weekend, it's because there was already a Grand Prix.
There was
schedule,
a Grand
right?
Prix near, like on the schedule somewhere nearby. Yeah.
Or Star City was hosting a Grand Prix.
Yeah. Or Star City hosted. Yeah. That's like it's just like it's a mess.
So, and that was how it was for like 2 or 3 years, and then Star City went, "This is too damn expensive. We can't keep doing this."
It wasn't even that it's too damn expensive. It was COVID happened, so they pretty much got...
I mean, this was like a year and a half before COVID happened. They were like, we are severely cutting back our event schedule. And a big part of it was traveling across the country, shipping essentially their entire store to ship across the country to set up a booth and run an event was a huge cost every weekend. And then you have your prizing events as well, and just like organizing one. I can imagine running something like this is a pain, and then some. Like I'm good. I can't even attempt to fathom how much
you don't even run the events we host now. What are you talking about?
Exactly. I don't want to. I just go, hey, what about if we do this? And you go, sure, we can make that work.
But we're getting off track again here.
Well, that tends to happen. But yeah, we have the rest of maybe I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We have more regionals to talk about here. Starting here in December. It doesn't look like we have anything in November. Yeah, in the US we don't have anything in November. We do have one over in Poland, the 25th and 26th, which I believe is the weekend of Thanksgiving here, so that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Most of the time, the U.S. events kind of fall around like late fall, and then you don't have anything really in November, unless it's like really early November. And then you have like one in December before Christmas, and then like one after Christmas. And then like January, like mid-January is where it starts to really ramp up.
And that's exactly how it is this year. We have nothing in November. 15th and 17th of December, we have one in San Antonio, which, like, if you're ever willingly travel to Texas, December is probably the best time of the year to do so.
Maybe. I will be the first person to tell you Texas can get pretty cold. in December,
the city of Austin would like to talk to you. I believe
it can get pretty cold.
I believe Texas has had like 2 major freezes in the last 2 years and have lost power. So
yeah, it's just like. Also, it's so close to Christmas. It's just like how many people are willing to travel there and go play
the week before Christmas. Yeah.
Like that one will probably be a lot of like just like the big names you see at every event, and then probably a lot of locals. Which Texas is big enough; it could probably fill its own regional with just its own majority player base. So
then we take the rest of the year off. We start back up. The literal first weekend of the year, January 5th through 7th in Portland, January 19th through the 21st in Charlotte, February 2nd through the 4th in Knoxville, March 22nd through 24th in Vancouver, April 12th through 14th in Orlando, May 3rd through the 5th in Indianapolis, and May 24th through 26th in Los Angeles, California.
That'll be a good one. That one a lot of people are excited for.
Which, like, understandably so. where was the one in California this year that was a complete shit show?
Fresno.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. Glad to see them not back on the list. You know who I'm really disappointed isn't on the list? Anything close to me.
Okay, so you say that we do have this one in Peoria. It is close. Peoria
but I
is
can't
not
make
that
that.
far. You say that.
No, like my schedule says I can't. So yes, I cannot make that.
That's your fault then. But I was about to ask, where are we dropping? Where are we going?
So I don't make those kind of calls. I sent the list to Tiff and said, "Hey, where do you want to go next year?" And her response was, either
nowhere because you're getting married.
That well, probably.
I know how this.
I think she said either Knoxville or Orlando or Indy. She's like, I think Knoxville is probably out because we have a wedding a month later that we need to pay for instead. Like
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, that's fair. That makes sense. Why do you have to be logical about everything?
Orlando it's going to be like April, mid-April.
Yeah, mid-April, which I wanted to go back to Orlando forever. She's never been. Would love to get to do, all the Disney parks, Universal parks, all that. Maybe we can convince Manny to fly down, back across the country to give us the Florida experience.
I know Rome mentioned going to Orlando, mainly just kind of doing it as a vacation, and then just Pokemon is just kind of like as a backup.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would not be able to go to that because I can't afford.
You act
Orlando.
like you're gonna have a 6-month-old at that point, Carl.
Like I can't afford Orlando.
You don't want to travel across the country with a 6-month-old? What's wrong with you?
So if we go anywhere, Kayla's probably going to want to go because she likes to travel. And as much fun as it would be to travel as a family, I don't think going to a Pokemon event is probably on her high list of priorities to travel. I think next year we're planning on going to Omaha to go to the zoo and whatnot and kind of do all that when Amelia's a little bit older and could actually remember stuff or recognize that we're here and doing this instead of just being a newborn and not really knowing what's going on. If I had to pick an event to go to, I'd probably be back to Indianapolis just because it was
Indy's
really nice.
Great, man. It really is. Is this convention center, is it the one right there by Lucas Oil Stadium?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't 100% sure if they had more than one in Indy, but you never know.
That's literally the one right by Lucas Oil Stadium. It's a different organizer this time around. Last time it was round 3. This one's day 2. So it'll be interesting to see how day 2 handles their location. I think round 3 did a very good job. The year I went, but day 2 probably has a little bit more experience than they do. So we'll see how they handle the size and situation. What?
Peoria is only a 5-hour drive.
That's what I was telling you.
It's way closer than I thought it was.
Yes, I literally said it's only a half a day drive for us. We could make it there if we leave the night before. Go have a hotel for that night, go play on Saturday, scrub out, and be back to work on Sunday. Easy peasy. It'd be the easy one. But I probably wouldn't be going still because the baby will be literally weeks old.
I wonder, can I
do have that weekend off from work because I took all of the first half of October off.
I wonder how cheap I can get a flight to Peoria.
Man, the cost of the flight, you should just drive at that point.
Well,
it costs more to fly.
Not if I can get it cheap.
Literally, but my
big thing is convenience.
You would have to drive all the way to KCI and fly out of there.
They have flights from Columbia to Peoria.
Do they really?
Uh-huh.
Is it like $300?
That's what I'm looking at.
Because that's what I'm expecting.
What's the dates on it?
October 6th and 8th. So you'd want to be there the 5th.
I could leave Friday morning. On Friday. The 6th is Friday.
Yeah.
Let's see. Economy show flights. $700?
Is that still worth it to you?
No, I'm off it.
Is driving, like I said, driving is just cheaper.
Expedia has it listed at $75. I'm like, there's no way. If I could do that for $75 in a heartbeat.
Yeah, like if that's all it was, that's easy. But literally, the time it would take for you to drive to Colombia at the airport, sit through the airport, get through the terminal, get on the plane, fly, take that flight all the way to wherever, then you don't have a car. Then you have to Uber everywhere.
That's
from
fine.
The airport to your hotel, from the hotel to the convention center, or wherever it's at. I would much rather just take the 5-hour drive and then be able to leave when I want to instead of wait for an airplane.
I bet I can find a cheaper flight than $700 round trip.
Not out of Colombia, probably not.
Well, this one I'm looking at a KCI. Why is it still $400? It's because the middle of nowhere, Illinois.
That's why.
They
don't do flying to the middle of nowhere is much more expensive than flying to a very common airport.
I just need to get my pilot's license and fly myself. That would be cheaper.
UCM can do that for you.
How convenient! I can
years and years of debt.
So yeah, all this to say, I'm probably not going to Peoria now.
But it is literally a 5-hour drive.
Yeah, but I also burnt all my personal days. So
we have driven farther going to magic events.
Yeah, I'm good.
And you don't even have to use your personal day. That's the thing, is you don't even have to use
I don't have
day.
any.
You don't have to have one.
I'm trying to win the event.
I'm telling you, if you end up winning the event, you won't have to work again, because then we'll be YouTube famous. That's how it works.
One regional win does not equal YouTube fame.
One regional win qualifies you for Worlds.
For some reason, that's all you need now. But it's okay.
And that's the perfect segue.
If you don't, you're never going to qualify.
That's not true. You will eventually qualify if you get enough finishes. But
it's so ridiculous. I hate these changes.
Let's talk the new points changes, because this is where a lot of things have changed and how the system's going to work. For the majority of people who have been playing for a long time, the divisions are broken down into junior, senior, masters via age, and each of those respective tiers need a certain amount of CP or championship points to qualify for Worlds. Before, it was a little bit easier to do. You had locals and MSSs, and the point threshold was like 400 or something for VGC. It is pretty manageable to get when you were getting all of your locals in and all your MSSs in pretty quickly and could do that. Well, COVID happened and they killed locals and they had to change the system, which is why this past year it was much easier to qualify. And so this feels like they're rubber banding the other way, trying to make it much harder. For those US listeners and whatnot, juniors 350, seniors 350, masters is 500 for VGC. TCG is 450, 450, 600. That is insane.
Ridiculous.
Now, granted, 600 seems like a lot for TCG, but TCG also has like double the player base VGC does, so they get those kickers much easier than we do.
Yeah.
And we're starting to get to that point where we kind of see those kickers and can get those extra points for like 120 whatever and whatnot. but with the way things are working now, getting 500 points is really hard. You get awarded 200 for a regionals win, but now when you win a regionals, you are automatically qualified for a tier 3 worlds invite. So if you're a random somebody and you win regionals, you will automatically be qualified for worlds. You don't have to go to another event the entire year, or entire season in this case.
I will be the first to admit that's a good change. That in and of itself is a very good change.
I like that. There's also a couple things when we get to actual how Worlds invite works that I really, really like. I think those are good parts of it. It's just the points thresholds are a little rough for most people. Because not everybody has 6 MSSs and 6 locals they can go to in a season. If you go and like look in Missouri, like 250 miles around Missouri, there is not a single VGC event listed on the event locator, period. Not a single event. So if you live in Kansas City, if you live in St. Louis, if you're traveling to play in locals, if that's the case. And for players like you and me who aren't going to drive 3 hours to go play in an event.
I think I looked this up a while back because Bauer Dad was complaining about it as well, right? Like his closest locals is like a 3-hour drive for him.
Yeah.
And like we made the comment that we could both drive to, there's a local in Arkansas that we could meet up at because it's about equidistant from each other.
Exactly.
We were unironically talking about driving 6 hours for a locals.
just to play, right? And that's the thing, it's just like not having a locals seed or someone to host locals that actually like consistently grind for that CP. It really sucks, and it makes this 500 number seem impossible to reach without going to 3 or 4 or 6 or all 12 regionals in a given season. Like that's just not feasible to go to every US event, US Canada event. It does not work for the average VGC player that wants to go play an event. But moving on away from that for a minute, so Worlds invites have also changed, which this is a good change. There are no longer day one like buys. There's no more buys. It's just gone.
There's
a round one buy. There's a round one buy.
I thought it was a day one buy.
No, it's round one.
It is round one.
It is a round one buy. There is no more. You get to sit out day one and come in day two. No, you are playing every round except for the first one if you're tier 1, which is literally just the first 12 players in the CP list for VGC, or first 16 in TCG. So that's actually a really good change. I think a lot of people were grinding, like the big heavy duty grinders were always grinding to get that day one buy, not have to play until day 2 or late in day 1 or whatever. And now it's more, you're kind of just playing for a round one buy, but you're also just like, there's like the travel award. But if you could afford to go to as many events as you're going to, you could probably afford to travel to Worlds anyway.
You would hope so, right?
Like, let's be real here. Like, if you're going to enough events to get in the top 12 in CP in an entire area, like, you're probably able to afford to go to Worlds without the help of the Pokemon Company sending you. But overall, it does feel like they're really trying to constrict how many players are going to Worlds in a given season.
We
don't 12
have
go ahead.
We don't have Worlds location for next year yet, right? Like that,
it'll get announced during Worlds.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'll be next week. We have that.
Yeah, we'll have that for next Monday. Plus all the Pokemon Presents stuff, which we'll talk about here in a minute. like looking at their system, it's just like they're really trying to restrict like who makes it in and who gets to play. It's very much PC-esque more than the standard like anybody can come and like play if you put enough effort in. Like you could put the effort in now and you still couldn't qualify sometimes. And it's just kind of crappy. What was it? We did the math. You have to finish, if you don't win one, your best case scenario to making it is winning a locals and then coming second place at 3 regionals. That's like the fastest point wise.
Beat Bubble Boy 3 times.
Because it's 160, 320, 480, and then you still need a local win to get there because you need an extra 20 CP.
Absolutely insane.
So that's like the
asinine that 3 second place finishes is not enough.
Yeah.
It is absurd to me that is the case.
And I bet you what ends up happening is a lot of these regional winners still keep grinding.
Because they want the world. They want the
travel. They want that travel reward, the travel stipend. You want that extra money, and you're going to granting the regional win is great. It shouldn't grant CP on top of it. Unfortunately, I think that giving 200 CP puts you in that mindset of I still need to keep going. I still need to keep playing because I'm ahead of everybody right now, and I can get the travel award, the travel stipend. And it incentivizes those that have already won invites to keep winning.
It's insane.
It's kind of just crappy, right? Because for the U.S. region, there's 12 events, so that means there's at least 12 auto invites.
Unless someone wins 2?
And that's where it starts to be a problem. Unless someone wins 2.
And then suddenly, you're immediately removing one person from Worlds.
You immediately have removed that freebie invite from Worlds. Same thing happens if you somehow get to the 500 threshold. Your regionals invite doesn't rotate down. It's just gone. So
wait, what?
So if you win regionals and you auto qualify, you can still qualify via points. If you qualify via points, your regional invite just disappears. It's not going to be used.
I thought the regional win only rewarded points equal to a Worlds win.
No. The regional only gives you 200 CP. But winning also gives you that invite. It's an invite and 200 CP. This is why it's a problem. Because exactly.
So you're telling me
if you win,
you would have to win 2 regionals, and you still don't have enough points to qualify for Worlds.
Technically, that's why when you win a regionals, you auto qualify.
Oh my god!
And this is why the granting of CP to the regional winners is a problem. Because, yes, you got that 200, but because you got that's worth 200, you're going to want to keep grinding, you get to keep playing, and you want that next one. Well, eventually,
this is ridiculous. This is insane.
If you're grinding for top 12, don't win an event. just throw it away.
You win. Go ahead. I'll see you at Worlds.
If you make it to top 2 and you're grinding for that top 12, just hand it off. Say, cool, I'll take the 160. Sure. Because that 160
it's 40
and that
points difference?
Yeah. It's just take the 160 and let whoever have the free regional invite. Because if you're going to be going to enough events to play it, it's not worth it to you to win.
This is absolutely insane to me.
Like I said, they're trying to make it more exclusive. They're trying to shrink the numbers, I guess, and what they're going to do because they've realized that VGC itself has kind of started to explode. This past year has just been a record-breaking year for attendance in almost every event for the most part. thankfully we don't have to worry about like a ton of player caps anymore, thanks to like not really having any kind of issues with COVID or any kind of other pandemic stuff. But they're currently having a problem this year at Worlds because they have so many people who are going, and it's currently really hot in Japan. Apparently, like it's hitting much warmer than anticipated, and they don't really have air conditioners to kind of keep up with that stuff.
Yeah.
So they're all crammed in a building, all thousands of people or whatever that are traveling on top of the whole Japanese population who is going to be at the event as spectators or participants.
So I know it doesn't mean anything to you, but this like is just a random aside. Barcelona is going through something very similar this summer, if you can believe that. This year sucks for Heat. The Pro Tour for Magic was this past week in Barcelona. Like, hey, by the way, we can't run the AC all the time because the government said so.
Yeah. Like that's how it is, and it's unfortunate.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely insane.
But yeah, definitely like the TLDR of this is they made some good changes. World invite changes are great. The regionals auto qualifier for the winner is really good, but you're upping the CP points for Masters to obscene numbers is kind of just rough. And like TCG is fine. TCG at 600 is still like manageable because, like I said, you could finish 256 or whatever at a 1,000-person event, and you're gonna walk away with like 60 CP or something.
So, going back to locals for a minute, I have the event locator pulled up, right?
Yep.
There is an event an hour and a half away from us. Okay. For Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Exactly.
What?
Exactly. That's the problem.
It hurts my head.
I know you've been trying to get like VGC locals to be a thing, like in Sedalia, which that'd be great if that happens, because then we actually have like a place to go play. We could earn points, and then going to those regionals has a little bit more incentive, right? I imagine them doing these changes hurts a lot of the average player wanting to go play and compete. The daily grinders, the people who are really like big on grinding and whatnot, they'll go to these regionals still. I expect regional attendance to still be decent, but it's probably not going to be anything like it was this past year for Scarlet and Violet post-COVID.
Do you know if there is a minimum player count to be able to consider it a locals event?
I believe it has to be at least 8 people.
Lame.
I believe that is the minimum.
Was really hoping I could just walk in and be like, hey, I'm here. Can I have points now? Because I really just want to put it in my Twitter bio that I have points for Worlds.
Let's see here.
Sorry, I forgot it's not Twitter anymore.
No, it's X.
Which, that's... Not getting into that today. I don't have the mental fortitude for that today. What are we looking for here?
I'm looking to see what the minimums and what the requirements are to host events.
Is this going to be under league? Or are they... I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how these work for VGC, because a lot of these are like leagues for TCG, and that's all they really talk about.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm a little confused on what exactly we're looking for.
Is it Championship Series?
So we're looking for Premier Challenges.
Yes, which... Championship points. VGC championship points. We want premier challenges. Okay. Da-da-da-da. These events have modest championship point payouts and provide players with an excellent opportunity to start in Pokemon video game tournament play. The tournament organizer may award additional prizes, which may vary from event to event. Please check the details offered by the tournament organizer for more information. That's it. That's all it says.
I have points payouts for it for 2024. First place is 30, second place is 16, third through 4 is 12. 5th through 8 requires 17 players to get a payout. 9 through 16th requires 48, and then 17 through 32 requires 80.
So what I'm hearing is I can walk in and be like, hey, can I have 30 points this month? I think it's once a quarter. You can hold a premiere and a mid-season showdown. I think you can hold one a season.
Mid-season showdowns, it's 50 points for first, 40 for second, 32 for third and fourth, and then the same kind of breakdown. 5th through 8 needs 17, so on and so forth.
So what I'm hearing is I'm getting 80 points a quarter, and no one can stop me. Carl, I need to not show up those weekends, okay? No particular.
See, here's the thing. It's just like trying to figure out like what the requirements for it are. Like, what do you have to do to host these events and have them count, right? Because you want them to count.
Oh, I didn't think about it. We also get points from global challenges. Granted,
if they're hosted, yeah.
Yeah, granted, you have to win one to get 160 points.
But they also have to do them. Like,
true.
Global challenges are usually restricted to other regions for qualifying purposes, because it is best of one ladder.
Players from all regions in the global challenges will compete together, and there'll be one set of championships per age. Sure, man.
Like, it's really hard for someone to go out and win a global challenge, mainly just because it is best of one. It is a completely new environment. I know, like, Bauer Dads tries to do, like, open team sheet ladder events, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background trying to get that to work. These global challenges, they're not going to be like that. You're going to be closed team sheet. You're going to lose to scummy best of one teams.
Sign me up, baby. Give me that scummy best of one tech.
Not about that life.
That's what I live for, directly into my veins.
There's also special events. So
I'm gonna talk to my LGS owners tomorrow and be like, hey, what do? How do I get points?
How do I do this?
You know these things. Can I just have them, please?
Right.
No one else is going to take them, so can I? Is that an option?
I mean, I'll come and play if there's actual points on the line.
You're busy that weekend.
Oh, they're on the weekend? That's even better.
It's actually Thursday night.
Oh, that's even better.
Friday morning?
Still good.
Carl, I need you to not show up, dang it.
Nah, I will show up. If there's actual points on the line, I will show up.
I just want to put in my Twitter bio. That's all I want.
Then you just gotta play me for it. It's fine. You get points if you're second still.
Yeah, but I want to stay above you.
On to some good news. We got a Pokemon Presents. It'll be the Tuesday after this goes up.
Yeah, so this obviously comes up Monday, like it always does. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow.
It'll be tomorrow.
Which it starts at, is it 6 East? Is it 6 a.m. Pacific? Am I making that number up?
I think you might be making that number up.
I know it's early Pacific. Let's see. Where is the post?
6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. EDT.
Okay, so I was right. 6 Pacific. For 35 minutes of Pokemon news and updates.
My expectations. I'm calling it now. We're getting Teal Mask date.
Yep. That's just like a given, right? They're obviously going to talk about Worlds and be like, hey, this event is this weekend. You should tune in and watch.
Here's all the Worlds information. Talk about Unite, talk about TCG, talk about all that fun stuff. I would be remiss if we don't talk about Cafe Mix and Masters EX.
Yeah, who cares?
People
like they're probably going to be like, "Oh, hey, by the way, Sleep's out. Go."
Yep, they'll talk about Sleep. There'll probably be some code to give away for that one to get you like a gift or something in that.
I have a Magnemite. I'm good.
I do too. I've been actually really enjoying Pokemon Sleep. It's been a lot of fun.
I finally started using it. My big complaint was that I can't use it and also fall asleep listening to something, which I have done for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so breaking that habit has been hard, but I'm sure Tiff really appreciates it because she hates my videos that I watch.
Well, there you go.
So, happy wife, happy life, right?
Yep, exactly. But I'm sure they'll talk about Sleep and Go and all that other stuff. They'll probably touch on the Pikachu Detective Pikachu, whatever nonsense, that new game that's coming out probably this holiday, whatever. There's people speculating that we're getting like Mystery Dungeon or Arceus or whatever, or like another Legends Arceus style game. I don't know if we're getting
that.
This
that
year.
is such a reach. No, we ain't. Well, they're not going to announce a new game while we still have 2 DLCs coming out.
So they're only poking like spin-offs, like the spin-off games, nothing like main story wise. I don't consider Arceus like a main story game. Like Arceus,
I still don't think we're getting one.
I don't think we're getting a Legends game. I don't think we're getting a Mystery Dungeon game. If you watched the little clip of the video announcement, there's the neon whatever, and people are trying to like really look hard in that. And let me be specific. Pokemon does specific things for specific reasons, so there is a reason behind it, but we're not going to know what it is or what it means until whatever. If anything, it's probably because Detective Pikachu is going to be talked about in the direct, and it is the neon sign stuff, right? And it's just like, whatever, cool. But I do expect Teal Mask date, and then maybe some more info about the Indigo Disc, maybe even a date for that. Now that we're literally months, like a few weeks for Teal Mask and then a few months away for Indigo Disc.
All right, I'm going out on a huge like I'm going to sit here and we're jumping in and we're going to the conspiracy corner for a second.
Uh-oh.
All right. So people are stuck on this Neon M, right?
Yeah.
They're stuck on the fact that this Neon M is the first thing that appears in the trailer, and people don't know why. I'm throwing this out here. What if this is them somehow plugging in Missing No to this, and like somehow doing like it is so hyper specific? But what if this is the way that like they're going to show us that we're finally getting like the old games to the system? I know that is such a long shot, but what it? There's no way, right? There's no way that that's what that means.
Yeah, no. So because NSO, the Nintendo Switch Online stuff, is its own separate thing, the actual Nintendo Directs will announce those if they're coming to Virtual Console like that. If they're going
is
to
that
like
how
the
we
Game
got
Boy...
Pokemon Stadium? Was it through?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was. It was through Nintendo. It was not through Pokemon. Nintendo handles all of their whatever nonsense on that side because they have all that. This Pokemon Direct probably won't announce it to a Virtual Console. You could probably see it like through through the eShop maybe, so you could do like home connectivity, but I doubt that's coming anytime soon. Like, I would imagine we get a Gen 2 or Gen 3 like Let's Go game before we get original red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal, all that available for eShop.
I still think we need Let's Go Espeon, Let's Go Umbreon.
I think a Let's Go for Gen 2 would be adorable and great.
I think only if they fix everything terrible about Gen 2.
So
everything, yes.
there's some struggles coming up because we're also supposed to get a new Switch model in the end of 2024. So I think any new games will either any games coming out between now and the end of 2024 will either have to be you have to have backwards compatibility with the new Switch, with the Switch 2 or whatever it is. It's you'll want to be backwards compatible with that, or you'll want them to not be released until the next Switch comes out, right? Because you don't want people to not buy your game because you have a new console coming out.
Yeah, but to be fair, that hasn't been announced at all.
Oh, yeah, it has. It hasn't. We have gotten so much info for a Nintendo Switch 2. 100%.
Not officially.
We have so much info about what the processor is, what the graphics GPU is. We have been getting snippets here and there of people on the inside telling us what the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be like. It all started 2.5 months ago when Activision CEO or whatever compared it to the PS4 in terms of graphics computations. It is on par with the PS4, the new Switch is.
But it's transportable. It's mobile.
Pretty much. But there's enough out there that we know roughly it's coming 2024 holiday season. We don't really know specific specs, but we got enough information that we can kind of derive, hey, it's using this chipset, so this is kind of the expectations you can get for this and stuff like that. So I would imagine it's either games coming out at the end of 2023 into 2024 are going to be backwards compatible, which means all your Switch games might be backwards compatible, which would be really good.
I mean, I think that's something they should obviously aim to do.
And it's not like they've not done that stuff before. The Wii could play GameCube games. That was the biggest thing, is just the Wii came out and kind of pushed the GameCube aside, but you could still play all your GameCube games on the Wii.
Yep.
That was a big deal. And I think going from the Switch to the Switch 2, people have invested time into their Switches. If your games are still backwards compatible, that's going to be really good for them. And you'll sell more game consoles that way. But
yep.
I don't think we're getting a ton of new Pokemon games this year.
I don't think we're getting any games this year.
Detective Pikachu 2 is the only new game we're getting.
Is it even announced to be confirmed this year?
It already was confirmed. We just didn't know a date yet. But it's confirmed to be coming.
Okay.
So I imagine we get Detective Pikachu 2 Holiday 2023. Nice job. Kill everybody with your drums. Not really, because Riverside is great. No, Riverside's great, and it cuts all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No one knows what they're talking about here, Carl.
But TLDR for Pokemon Direct, in my opinion. Teal Mask date, maybe Indigo disc date. We'll probably see something about the Netflix series, something about the anime, something about Sleep.
Oh,
Remix,
true. I didn't even think about the anime.
Journeys, whatever the new anime is called, I don't even know. Have not been keeping up with it.
Nope.
Not worth the effort, in my opinion. No Ash, not worth it. Nah, it's I haven't really been keeping up with the anime since Gen 2. So
I haven't watched since Orange Islands, and I didn't even finish Orange Islands.
damn.
Yep.
Oh, what's your direct hot take? Let's do that. Is it the missing no whatever?
It is such a fever dream, right? Like, there's no way that it's going to happen.
I want,
but that's
Coliseum
obviously what I
Gale
want.
of Darkness. That's what I want. Coliseum remaster. That's all I want. We're not getting a GameCube player on the Switch. That's probably
not 0% chance of that happening, right?
The odds of that happening are very slim. At least for this console's life cycle. Maybe when the Switch 2 comes out, they might look at doing that because they have the processing power for it then. But
I think they need to bring back the virtual console period and give us like Wii games. I think having Wii games on there would be sick. You have motion control, use it.
Yeah, they do in games that aren't Pokemon.
Yeah, but I don't even care about that. Like, just like in general, let me play Wii games on there. I'll buy them. I don't care.
Most Wii games that are worth playing on there required special controllers. Like,
how long have we been going?
About 50 minutes.
I feel like we've been going forever.
50 minutes.
God, it feels way longer than that tonight.
Yeah. We got started late, too.
Yeah, well.
We can wrap it up here if you're done.
I don't know, man. I'm not... we covered everything we wanted to, right?
You were gone for a week. What do you want to talk about? You can fill in this 10 minutes with your shenanigans from the last week. Come
on. So let's see. What... I can tell you everything that went wrong last week.
We don't want to hear that. We want to hear positives.
So I don't want you to talk about last week. Got it. Good Lord. Last week was terrible. Like, the worst part is we planned on, like, taking the weekend and going to St. Louis and just, like, having a weekend out and everything. And just, like, everything that could possibly go wrong did. And it was, oh, my Lord, it was terrible. This week's
so
better.
You didn't even get to go do your break. Like, I literally...
like, that's... We planned on
it. That you were having a vacation and mini vacation.
Yep, planned on it. Planned on it, and then just everything happened. We're like, we just need to stay home.
Yeah, it's understandable.
So,
those staying just staying at home is always nice too.
It was enjoyable. We have a new D&D campaign we're getting ready to start up that should be pretty enjoyable. I haven't played in like 4 years, like 3-4 years now. It was before I started at Pepsi that I had our last campaign. So, and unfortunately, when I got my new job, it was in the middle of the campaign, so I didn't even get to finish that campaign or anything because they always played so late at night that I was already in bed and I worked every weekend, so it just didn't work for me. But
yeah.
New route means new day off, which means I have time for stuff like that again.
Yep. Which is nice.
I went and played F&M for the first time last week in forever. I finished 9th.
Bubble boy.
Do not ask how many players there were.
9.
Next question.
Got him. Got him right there. Got it.
So I was playing this degenerate combo deck, and there were multiple times where I'm like, cool, I kill you on turn 3, and then my opponent plays disruption piece on turn 2. I go, yep, I can't win now. Like, it's super easily disrupted, and I knew that going in, and I had never played it. I'm like, yeah, this seems super fun, I'll play it. And it was not very good.
Maybe this is why Pokemon's a better game.
Dude, it really is. I actually really have enjoyed...
In terms of, like, the card game. Maybe it's just that's why Pokemon's better. I've really
enjoyed getting back into Magic and everything. The newest Commander Master set came out today and went and opened my box and everything. It was nothing absurd. This set is severely inflated in price for the sake of Wizards wanting money, just like everything else that they do. But I bet I probably broke even, if not came out a little bit ahead. And I mean, yeah, and that was just like me pricing out the rares and mythics and stuff I opened out of it. It was a good box. See what else has gone on here lately? A whole lot of nothing really. I'm gonna go play golf tomorrow. That's gonna be fun. Unless it rains, and then it's gonna suck.
It's 100% going to rain tomorrow.
Well,
Saturday.
when we were looking earlier in the week, it said that it's supposed to stop at like 8:30. So I'm really hoping that stays true.
I will tell you for free. Don't trust the weather app on your phone.
Everything I'm seeing now says it's not supposed to tomorrow. So.
Everything we have over here is that it's going to.
Well, seeing how I'm coming to you tomorrow. You working tomorrow?
Yeah, I am working tomorrow.
Cool. I'll probably.
You playing at the college course?
No, we're playing at what's the other one?
The one over by Deerfield or whatever its name is.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. I could tell you. We were playing at Hidden Pines tomorrow.
Yeah, it's over there by the God dang it. It's over by the subdevelopment. That's just south of town.
I genuinely have no idea.
You will have to go through the subdevelopment to get to the course.
But I might convince my buddy to come see you for lunch.
Well, that'll work. I'll be there till at least 2.
Oh, I can't imagine we're playing that late. Our tea time's at like 9:30, so we're only playing 9. So
I will be at work when your tea time starts.
If we're still in town by 2, something went very wrong.
It's called rain.
Dude, look, you can keep that evil. I don't need that today.
You're coming to me. You don't want me to keep it.
Dude, send it away. It's supposed to be everything here says it's supposed to be nice tomorrow.
I hope so. I need it to dry out.
Good Lord, man. Compared to the last week or whatever, it rained all day, like Wednesday night, Thursday, like morning, right?
Yeah.
And when I got up to go to work, I left at like 4:45, 5 o'clock, like I do every morning. And I'm like, yeah, it rained last night. It says it's really cool out. This will be fine. I step out, and it takes my breath away with how humid it is outside. I legitimately started coughing because I lost so much oxygen so quickly. I'm like, what is wrong? This is terrible.
It has rained every single day in Warrensburg for the past, 8 days.
Yep. I mean, same here. Luckily, it cleared up enough today where I could actually get out and mow because my yard was 1.5 feet tall because we've had so much rain and everything.
I can't mow here. It's still wet.
I got on the rider. I'm just like, I have to get this done.
My grass is still way too wet to mow. It rained again this morning.
Yeah. We had to go to Columbia today, and it rained on the way to and the way back. But, we got back at 4:30 and it finally cleared up and everything. So I feel like we sat here and rambled about nothing for look at that. We're at an hour. Nailed it.
See, I told you. You just got to talk about what you missed last week. It's fine.
This last 10 minutes, no one's gonna listen to. They're gonna skip.
Exactly. Everyone skips over it and goes to whatever at the end. Anyway, I see the analytics. I know what you guys do.
No one's gonna know what we're talking about here.
T minus 4 episodes, and then I'll be gone. I think I have 5 or 6 episodes left on this before I disappear for a month and a half.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird.
Then you're gonna be stuck with Carter and Roe. Hope you're all ready for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be me, Angelo, and Jay. I've talked to them, and they're all gonna be on board.
Yeah, have fun with that, guys.
I was talking to Jay, and I said something along the lines of, 3 white guys having a podcast. That's unique.
It's gonna be the new name.
But yeah, it's gonna be weird not having you here. But you know, obviously, life is way more important than this game that we play and enjoy. So
exactly.
You know, you have a major life event coming up, if you can believe that.
Yep. So we're going to the OB on Monday when this episode comes out. I will be in Kansas City with Kayla, and they're probably going to move the induction date up probably about a week or two. That's the expectation. Baby is measuring very large already. So
very large. And
everything's
relatively
fine.
soon
She's
in charge.
Yeah, it's like everything's fine. Like there's no issues. She's just a big baby, and so they're just like, are we going to carry this to that long? Do you want us to wait till 39 weeks or whatever, or do you want us to try it like 38? Like we'll see what
you're
the
expert
says.
here. What do we need to do?
It's just like, what are we going to do here? Like, what's the plan? Because you had a plan, and then this happened, so now does the plan change? So we'll find out today sometime what all's going on there.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be it. I think I'm ready to go and relax.
I got to go eat.
Yeah, we haven't done that either. I don't know if Tiff and Noah.
I got pizza.
I don't know. We'll figure that out when I get.
I got pizza waiting for me. I'm excited.
I think we're doing burgers.
Have fun with that.
If they expect me to get out and grill, they're wrong. I'm not. I ain't.
It's 9:00. It's
too
9:30.
hot, man. It's too freaking hot.
Forget about it.
All right. Well, I think it's time to get out of here.
Yep.
As always, everyone, thank you so much for listening. If you're listening over on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave us a comment down below talking about, you know, whatever. If you listen to this last 10 minutes of me sitting here rambling, yeah, that'd be great. Let me know. There's probably some there's some phrase that you could say that I'd be like, yep, I know you listened to this. And then tomorrow or Monday when this comes out, I'll be like, I have no idea what these people are talking about.
Sounds about right.
If you're listening on any of the audio platforms, you know, make sure you like the video, download it, share it with a friend, tell that friend to share it with 2 friends. You know,
spread the love.
Exactly. Ring the bell, get notifications when new stuff goes live every week. And it really does help us out, you know. Leave us a review if you can on any of those platforms that allow that. And it really just, you know, does help us out. If you are interested, you can go ahead and follow us over on X, which is, I hate this. They've thrown off my outro, which, to be fair, it wasn't ever set anyway.
They've officially messed with the formula.
When Angelo and Jay get here, they're doing the outro. It's their job. Angelo's our social media manager. This is what he's for. What do we pay him for if not this?
We get paid.
Oh. So yeah, follow us over on X at LR Lessons, myself at Mr. Missouri 25, Carl is at Musical VGC. Carl and I are both on Twitch as well. You can follow us there at Mr. Missouri 25 and at Musical. Past that, you can hang out with us in our community Discord. That link is always down in the show notes. Questions, comments, concerns, you can always email us. That email is down in the show notes as well. You know, just if you want to just give us a review, just be like, hey, I like your stuff. Thanks. Heart emoji. That's, you know, that'd be great. Like, you know,
yep.
You know, we're going to get like 4 of those emails this week now, right?
Yep. And they'll be your problem. I don't get notifications for that account.
Oh, you don't?
Nope. I have it linked on my new phone, but ever since I got my new phone, I haven't been able to get notifications from that email.
Huh. You haven't missed anything.
I didn't think so.
If you're interested in supporting us, you can go on over to patreon.com for as little as like 25 cents an episode. 50 cents an episode, something like that.
50 cents an episode, because the minimum's $2.
Yep. You can
also
help,
make sure your Patreon payments go through, because they've buggered up their system.
What?
Patreon moved where they're getting like where their payment server is at. They moved from like California to Ireland or something. And because it is overseas, banks in the US immediately flag most overseas charges to prevent scams and stuff. And so like a bunch of the Patreon patrons for bigger creators just didn't get their like the patrons just couldn't pay them because they just got all their payments canceled.
Interesting.
I was listening to That's Plus One actually talk about it last night. That's where the majority of his like money comes from for his content and stuff, and the fact that like 400 patrons just didn't go through.
Oh,
yeah, like it's a big number. It's so like make sure you're if you are part of the patron thing and your payments didn't go through, or you tried to and it says it failed, just give it a little bit. Yell at your bank. I wouldn't even yell at your bank. I'd yell at Patreon. It's their fault. It's not your bank's fault.
Yell at your bank to yell at Patreon.
The bank did the right thing. Patreon is just being greedy.
Yeah. So yeah, you can always do that over at Patreon if and when it'll ever work. Want to give a special shout out to our $10 and up patrons, Johnny Bravo Sr. and Papa Swish. You can also support us over on Discord. They have some subscriptions there per server and everything. Want to give a shout out to Smeargle over there as well. They're great. We love them. They're fantastic. Past that, check out the website, lrlessons.com. There's our calendar of events. You can check out anything that's up on there. And you can check out the merch page while it's still up. So I think that's it. I think I nailed everything.
Yeah, it kind of out of order, but you nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? People got it. But that is going to be it for this week, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, have a good one. Peace.